Hello fellow old schoolers, and let's get ready for some more old school magic here. We're going back to some of the mono wars, and I'll go over the rules real quick here. It's a mini format, and some of the rules here are that all decks must be monocolored. There can be no Power Knight, no Moxen, no Black Lotus, and no Blue Power, and no artifacts at all. So only the relevant colored spells and creatures. And we also have the rules for mana, that you can only have lands that produce the appropriate mana source or mana color. So you can have Pendelhaven, and you can, if you play green, and you can have Caracas if you play white, but no Library of Alexandria, no factories, etc. Stuff that produces colorless mana or a colored mana that's not used in your monocolored deck are not allowed. And finally, no sideboard is allowed. So you can have hate cards against other colors, but they have to be in your main deck, and they will thus be dead draws against any other color. This game is white versus black, and this is the white deck. We have the white creatures here. We've seen this deck play against a mono green deck at this point, and now it's coming up against black, and it has a lot of anti-black, as white and black, they don't like each other very much. So you have the White Knights, we have the Northern Paladin, and then we also have just a bunch of critters like Savannah Lions, Mytho Pegasus, Thunder Spirits that are 2/2 flying first strike, and the Veteran Bodyguard, and a bunch of Sarah Angels. And we also have a couple of Preachers and a Witch Hunter as special creatures. And Preachers can steal other creatures, and Witch Hunters can unsummon them, and you can ping other players for 1 point of damage. The spells are 4 Swords to Plowshares, only a couple of disenchants, as there aren't that many viable disenchant targets here. A couple of Spirit Links, a couple of Armageddons, and a Holy Light land, which is very, very brutal in this meta. We also have the land text to synergize with the Armageddons, and some hate cards like Conversion, which won't really matter in this matchup, as it's only against red. But we do have this, the Greater Realm of Preservation. There's like a circle of protection against both black and red, so that will be very efficient here against the Black Brother, I presume. We also are using a castle just to pump the toughness up for all our creatures, and this will work especially well with Sarah Angels that don't tap when they attack, so they can still block a bit and be boosted by that castle. And it also works well with the Veteran Bodyguard, as he will just stay untapped and just block small critters coming in. I think more castles could be here. A user on this channel earlier on in an earlier video, he mentioned angelic voices, and that could be very nice again in this matchup or in this deck. The problem with these monocolored decks is that using Crusades and Bad Moons, even though they're such a strong card, they will boost another mono white or another mono black deck if you come up in a mirror match. So it is a balance to strike here if you'd rather use Castle and Angelic Voices, even though they're more expensive, as they only boost your own creatures. Let's go over the black deck real quick here. The black creatures we've put in here are, we have the 4 Black Knights just to mirror the White Knights. Then we have the Urg Raiders, 2/3 creatures that must attack each turn or they'll do damage to you. We have the defensive Will-o'-the-Wisps, that's 1/0 flying regeneration, and 4 Hypnotic Spectres, very brutal if they get in. We have the 4 Royal Assassins as removal to help hold the other guy back. The Dusum Jin as the King of the Hill, and his 2 Singia Vampire Lieutenants. For spells, we're using Dark Rituals. We're using Paralyze instead of Terror, as Terror will be dead draws against another mono-black player. And Paralyze will work with the Royal Assassin, as it will tap the opposing creature. Then we have the Black Power with Mind Twist, Demonic Tutor, 3 Drain Life. I think 4 should be here. It's such a good card in a monocolored deck like this. Pestilence. And we have the 3 Unholy Strength. It's just a very good enchantment when there are as little spot removal usually as there is in this format. And then we have a couple of Glooms here, and in all other matchups these will be worthless, but against white they might be pretty key, because not only will they make all his spells more expensive, but it will also make his Circle of Protections and Greater Realm of Preservation cost 3 colorless mana extra from each activation. So we can still, black can still overwhelm white. even though he has a circular protection out, if black has a gloom. But all in all, in the decks we've made here, I think white has more anti-black than black has anti-white. It will likely come down to those knights as well, as they can't touch each other's knights. But at least black can cast Unholy Strength on his black knights and try to raise white down. White just has a bunch of good removal though. So we'll see what happens. This is round number 1. And we have the mono white player on the left and the mono black player on the right here. I don't know who's on the play. There's a Singular Vampire on the black hand there. Okay, it's a roll off. 6, I suppose white starts then? No, what? Okay, so for some reason black starts. I don't know what happened. Okay, so black coming out with a turn 2 Greater here. A black knight would have been better, but I suppose he doesn't have any. Okay, getting answered with a Mesa Pegasus. That won't help. But it can, counter-attack at least. It won't survive a block against those Greaters. Greaters come out. Oh, and the Royal Assassin. Very strong start. So if the the Mesa Pegasus attacks here, next turn the Royal Assassin will just slice that horsey up. So he has to stay back. Black really puts on the pressure here. No removal from white. Coming over the Greater again for a couple of points of damage. So yeah, white is a bit pressured here. Let's see. Oh, 2 Dark Rituals and a Singular Vampire. Really risky here with Sword to Pouches, but I suppose... Oh, that was one. Oh, so much card advantage for white here. I suppose it was a risk to take because we didn't see any Sword to Pouches yet on the Greater or the Royal Assassin. But very brutal. Ooh, there's a castle. Now that horsey, that Pegasus, would become a 1/3. And it can block the Greater all day then. Demonic Tutor from black. Only has 2 swamps from black. I think he tutored for that swamp. It was really mana-starved. Only those Dark Rituals kept him up. So he has to attack with the Greater or they'll do damage to him. They're crazy. So he'll just run straight into that wall, that Pegasus wall, and do no damage. Benelishiro, 1/3 Benelishiro coming out because of that castle. So white is really getting down its... Ooh, gloom. Yeah, white is really getting down its defenses here. That gloom will hurt him, or really set him back here. Slow him down, I suppose. Every white spell costs 3 colorless mana extra, and every enchantment activation costs 3 colorless mana extra. So white has to pass the turn. More defenses out of black here with the Will-o'-the-Wisp. What do we have here? A Savannah Lion for 4 mana. Yeah. I suppose it's all about who gets the first knight at this point, because they can come in unblocked. Or we need some removal from either side. It is a bit of a standstill. Mainly because of that castle. That castle just keeps white going. Okay, so yeah, so the Greater comes over and he bans with the Benelishiro and the Savannah Lion, and yeah, just kills him. There's the White Knight. Okay, so now the clock is on black. He is ahead in life though, but he needs a Black Knight of his own. Now the White Knight can get in, and the Royal Assassin can't even do anything to it, even though it taps, because the White Knight has protection from black. Here he comes for 2 points of damage. Black not getting anything here. Okay. 1, 2, 3. What? We have 6 black. Oh yeah, and only 5 planes. So that was why white could activate its land tax now, just to siphon through the deck. He's now mana fixed, and he can make sure that the odds of him drawing lands later on, it will be lower because he's taking lands out. Ooh, Holy Light here. Getting rid of, yeah, the Will-o'-the-Wisp and the Royal Assassin. All non-white creatures get -1/-1. And the Will-o'-the-Wisp can't regenerate if it has 0 in toughness. So brutal card. Now opening the field for white, who can just all-out attack here, doing 6 points of damage. Black answering with a couple of paralyze here. You can't paralyze the White Knight though. Again, he can't be touched by black spells. But just to postpone the attack here. Armageddon. Oh, brutal punch. But I suppose the paralyzed creatures can't untap now. So they're effectively removed from the game because of that Armageddon. But still, it is a lock. And yeah, black plays his swamp, and now white just activates his land text again as he has no planes out. But I mean, black has no choice here. If he doesn't try to get into the game, those two critters there, the White Knight and the Benelished Hero, will just slowly poke him to death. So no choice, he has to play the swamp, and then the white can activate the land text. Now he needs a second swamp and I don't know what, a Black Knight, perhaps. Attacking again for 3. Okay, there's a Black Knight. So now the race is on. He needs a drain life on the Benelished Hero. No, yeah, he does. But the Benelished Hero stays back. Oh yeah, yeah, the Black Knight would just block the Benelished Hero. No point in attacking with it this turn. Yeah, so what to do here? Okay, counterattacking with the Black Knight. It can't be blocked by any white creatures. The last Dark Ritual and a Hypnotic Spectre. Very, very nice to get this here in this situation. As it is a race. But black, yeah, I don't know. He kind of needs a drain life to recuperate some of his lost life here. Down to very little life here. Unholy Strength on the Black Knight. Playing it, I think that's the correct target, as he can't be Sword to Plowshare. So just attacking for 4. And keeping the Spectre back just to survive, because then it can block the Benelished Hero. What? Yeah, okay, attacking for 4. And then, I guess, forfeiting the game. Oh yeah, white could untap one of his creatures and just attack next turn. There wasn't anything he could do. He could untap one of the paralyzed creatures. So yeah, white snuck a win through here. Came down to a White Knight Black Knight race. So getting ready for round number 2. Wait. And black would be on the player one more time here, as he lost the previous round. Starting off with a swamp, no Dark Ritual though. The dream start here will be Dark Ritual into Gloom turn 1, and then a Black Knight turn 2. Anyway, Earth Raider coming out. Answered with a with a Mr. Pegasus once again. Okay, this time Unholy Strength on the Arabian Knights. Earth Raiders here. He becomes a 4/4 coming over here. He is susceptible to Swords to Plowshares though, and white will get a 2-for-1. So those Unholy Strengths are a lot better on a Black Knight, but there are no Black Knights at this point, I suppose. Okay, Drain Lifing one of them, and then coming over, he needs to block the other one. Okay, is this a balanced play now? No. Ooh, Northern Paladin. He can tap to destroy a black permanent, so I suppose that Earth Raider's days is numbered here. It does cost white some mana though if he does so. I think it's 2 white mana. Okay, paralyzing the Northern Paladin, so, and coming over for 4 points of damage. Now, very, very clever play. He could have played a Royal Assassin, but he can do that next turn. If he untaps the Northern Paladin, he can't really, he can't use its ability anyway. Black Knight coming out though, so he can block the Earth Raider. The Earth Raider won't do damage to him, yeah, so he blocks here. Royal Assassin coming out. Now, white needs another plains. So he untaps. Oh, he drew into a plains. Now he can use it. And yeah, that's a great play. Destroying the Royal Assassin immediately. If he had waited a turn, the Royal Assassin would be able to counter kill the Northern Paladin as he taps. So, but now White has secured enough mana to untap the Northern Paladin and use its ability. So he has that Northern Paladin, even though it's paralyzed, has secured a slow grind for white here. Will slowly just accumulate control as he'll destroy all the permanents of black. He can't destroy the Will of the Wisp though. He can regenerate. Now killing, just banishing the Earth Raiders here with the Holy Light of the Northern Paladin and attacking with the White Knight. Another Will of the Wisp. At least they are immune to the Northern Paladin for now, but that White Knight, I mean, yeah, Black just really needs another White Knight. Where are the Black Knights here? Okay, Drain Lifing a Northern Paladin, getting 3 life for Black. So that was pretty key, getting rid of him here. But against 2 White Knights, yeah, it's brutal. Serra Angel coming out. And the White Knights just stampeding over here. Moving through the Will-o'-the-Wisps. Gloom coming out too little, too late. What can Black do? Needs another Swamp and perhaps a Drain Life on the Serra Angel. Will keep him alive for a bit, but at least the Will-o'-the-Wisp can block that Serra Angel, as they fly as well. Another Gloom coming out. Yeah, this would have been great as an opening, but I mean, those White Knights coming over 4 again. And White is just waiting for an Armageddon here. Royal Assassin coming out. Won't matter. We need Black Knights, that's the only thing. And we need life gain for Black. Just to win the race here. And a 3rd White Knight, are you kidding me? And not a single Black Knight to answer them. Drain Lifing the Serra Angel. Postponing the inevitable here. Coming over 6 damage. Another Swamp, paralyzing one of the lions and just killing it just for good measure here. Doesn't matter. Yeah, the White Knights, they reign supreme. Singa Vampire coming out, but it didn't really matter. So 2-0 for White here. Those White Knights really pulling through, and I think before that the Northern Paladin really just blocked the attack from Black with that Urg Raider. And it was really coming down to the wire with that Paralyze and Royal Assassin play. If Black could have removed the Northern Paladin with the Royal Assassin, the game might have been very different. But we have a bonus game here just to see if Black can recuperate some of its lost honor here. This time another Urg Raider, no Black Knight. And there's a White Knight again. Coming over, getting blocked with the White Knight. Okay, playing a Hypnotic Spectre though. Those are brutal if they don't get removed early on. Preacher though, oh yeah, okay. Well, at least if he taps to steal a creature, Black can just give him the Urg Raider, but it does provide White with a lot of offensive push here. There is no answer for this Hypnotic Spectre though, so he can get in and nick a card from the hand of White at this point. Before the Preacher takes anything. Oh, Drain Lifing the Preacher. Okay, moving that and coming over both. He has to attack with the Urg Raider. So getting an Armageddon here, that wasn't a very important card at this point, but it's better than nothing. Now Black needs, I suppose, a Gloom or a Black Knight, preferably with an Unholy Strength on it. White Knight counter-attacking here. Oh yeah, he can band with the Savannah Lion and the Benali Shiro to take out the Urg Raider now. So he doesn't need the White Knight to block it. Oh, but he can't. Paralyzing both. Really going all in. Oh, getting Swords of Plowshare on that Hypnotic Spectre. Okay, tutor time here. So I suppose Black has recognized that he needs to finish the game with an all-in move here before too many White Knights gets out. I wonder what he tutors for. Perhaps a Royal Assassin? No. Perhaps a Black Knight. Or a Dewsum? No, not a Dewsum Gin. The White Knight can just hold it back. A Singa Vampire if he has another land, perhaps. Another Hypnotic Spectre. Attacking here. Okay, there was a land and a Singa Vampire. That's a solid play. Could have been a Hypnotic Spectre, but then again, a Serra Angel would just block it. Or a Castle. Yeah. attacking with the White Knight. Now, the untapped Mesa Pegasus is a 1/3, but it won't be enough to stop the Sinker Vampire. It's a good play by Black to take a Sinker Vampire instead of a Hypnotic Spectre here. Otherwise, he'd be blocked. So getting in is ahead in the race at this point. Oh, that's a bodyguard. And a bodyguard with a castle has 7 in toughness. So, yeah, he can just take the damage from that Sinker Vampire. Here's the Black Knight. Again, too late, because even if he gets in unopposed, he'll just go down to the veteran bodyguard. Yeah, so he attacks with both. The Mesa Pegasus blocks the Urk Raiders, and as the Mesa Pegasus is a 1/3, he survives. And the damage from the Sinker Vampire will be blocked by the... Just go to the boosted veteran bodyguard. Playing another Mesa Pegasus and attacking with the White Knight once again. So that veteran bodyguard is really a powerful card with castle in this meta. Attacking with everything here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, if everything goes in unopposed, the veteran bodyguard will die. Oh, he plays Holy Light as an instant here. So all creatures gets -1/-1. So and then he blocks the Urk Raider in a band. And the Urk Raider is now a 1/2, so he will die to those Mesa Pegasus. And not take anyone with him. And all the rest of the damage, it's 5 points of damage, will go into the veteran bodyguard. He'll just bodyguard that damage. Holy Light, man, such a good card. So successfully blocking Black and just continuing to counterattack with that White Knight. Also attacking with one of the Pegasus here. I guess White wants to finish the game fast. Giving it a good think though. Even if both I think he can attack with everything. Because, okay, perhaps he's keeping back because if there's an unholy strength, he needs to block the creature with the Mesa Pegasus. What? Okay. I don't get that. He attacks for 6, Black attacks for 6. That would make the veteran bodyguard survive. Perhaps White fears a drain life after this, so he blocks the vampire, but the vampire just grows from this. He gets nourished by the blood of that Pegasus, so he's now a 5/5. And that will actually make Black able to kill the veteran bodyguard. It'll be 7 points of damage unblocked. I think it's because White is going for the kill. He just wants to block each turn. Yeah, okay, that's what he does. So he blocks the Sinker Vampire. The vampire is now a 7/7, huge vampire. But White just needs a few more turns of counterattacking here. He can actually counterattack with everything here. Okay, that's a Will of the Wisp though. So White can attack with everything, but I don't know if that would be wise. It's 9 points of damage in the counterattack, and that Willow can block one of them. Okay, but he chooses to. I mean, he is ahead in life. So counterattacking here with everything. I guess the Willow will just, take on perhaps the bodyguard, and then Black takes 4 points of damage. And as the veteran bodyguard is tapped now, he won't take any damage from the unblocked Black creatures. Now, if Black has a drain life as well, that would be very, very interesting. You do 7 points of damage with that vampire and then drain for a bunch. Drain the player. Yeah, putting White down to a single dice here. Land tax, that won't help White. Black Knight coming over again. It's really coming down to the wire. Oh, so close. That was only a land. If only he had a drain life. Now if he attacks, the bodyguard will sacrifice himself. Yep. He comes in unblocked and it goes to the bodyguard. And he has to pass the turn. And that's it. Even if he all out attacked, all the damage would just go to the bodyguard. Oh, no cards on the hand of black. That's a lot of cards down. Only Dark Rituals and Swamps. So yeah, that was like a very close game, but all in all a brutal beatdown where white actually dominated the final score with 3-0. I think with a few tweaks and perhaps different ways to play it, it could easily have gone the other way. I mean, the final game here was really down to black not drawing a drain life or just anything to remove the bodyguard. Or for example, if black had drawn into a paralyze, he could paralyze the bodyguard and he would tap and not be able to tank the damage from the Singia Vampire, and white would lose. So very close game, the final one here. So yeah, I'll be back with some more mono games later on. After this, I think we will take a dip into a fully powered game from one of the tournaments there were. And we also have something else coming up, but I'll talk to you later. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.